along through this thing. Also, the year anniversary of our YouTube channel being launched. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to grow that channel as much as possible. Follow us at FVOTB Pod. Now let's get into the rest of this episode because we have a lot still to talk about. Most dominant team of the week. Who do you have for your most dominant team of the week? Because I think mine is fairly obvious as to who I'm picking.
I think mine should be fairly obvious too. It's the Tennessee Titans. Letting this Chief offense who has Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, only allowing 3 points, and your Titans defense is quote unquote that bad. Interesting. And then King Henry had an off week. Everybody's giving the Titans BS and saying Derrick Henry shouldn't be in the MVP conversation because he's not a quarterback. Well, he threw a passing touchdown, so maybe he needs to be in the MVP conversation. So the Titans are my most dominant team of the week.
Yeah, I like what the Titans did. There was a couple, like you could have obviously easily picked the Bucks because what they did to the Bears was just almost down.
Or the Patriots because they fucking did what they had to do against the Jets too.
Yeah, Zach Wilson definitely hates Foxborough. I don't think he's going to be coming back and visiting anytime soon. My most dominant team of the week is the Cincinnati Bengals. Their first place in the division for the first time in 6 years. They beat the team who's owned them for the past 3 ever since Lamar Jackson took over as the starting quarterback. They walked in, dropped 500 yards of offense, 41 points, held the lead the entire game, and now lead the AFC North and a tie for the best record in the AFC. I think that they've just in that week alone with that resume, they obviously are in the category of most dominant team of the week. There's a few other really dominant performances, like I said, but the Bengals were right up there with what happened on Sunday in Baltimore. And that brings us to one of our favorite segments. And this one, it's getting closer because we ended up having the same record for the week as each other. But honestly, the Benchwarmers kind of whooped up on us a little bit. They had a lot of games right that we ended up being very wrong on. But we'll just quickly go over the standings.
I'm catching up on you.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Nico leading the pack, number 1, 76-30 on the season, 9-4 last week. I am coming up in second, 62-49. I have a 2-game lead, or like it's like a 2 and 3/4 game lead with how many ties that the Benchwarmers have. But I have a slim lead over the Benchwarmers. I also went 9-4 last week, and then you guys bringing up the rear, but you're getting close. 60, 37-9. They went 10-2-1 on the season, had the best weekly record. Honestly, I'm proud of that because that means we have listeners and people who follow us on Twitter that really know what they're talking about. Or maybe they get lucky, but I know that they picked Cincinnati right, and we both picked that one wrong. And I think they had one other one where I think they ended up picking the Browns over the Broncos, and that was another one that was close. But no, it's getting closer. I promise you I will continue to try and make up ground. I don't want this thing to be a blowout. Maybe we'll make some special playoff points so I actually end up having some kind of a chance down the stretch. But let's get into the Week 8 slated games because there's a lot of good ones coming up. And we get to start on Thursday Night Football with 2 teams in the NFC that are both very much in the Super Bowl conversation, or at least the conference championship conversation. That's the Green Bay Packers going to Arizona. Both teams on a short week and playing the only undefeated team still left in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going Arizona. I like them at home. I know that they really haven't played a team that's great, but honestly, the Packers haven't played a team that's really great. I think the best team the Packers have played so far is probably the Bengals. Honestly, if I'm going to look at it objectively, I think that might be their best win of the season so far. The Steelers are decent, and the 49ers, when they played them, weren't terrible, but I like Arizona. I like Kyler Murray. I think he's going to solidify himself in the MVP conversation, and I think he's going to outduel Aaron Rodgers. I'm nervous about this one. I'm not super confident. I think this one can go either way. Who do you have for the Packers and Cardinals?
I'm going to take Green Bay here. I know this is going to be this is a little bit of a wild one because obviously Lazard is out due to COVID. So is Devontae Adams. So that honestly is wavering the line very heavily towards Arizona. But I don't know. I like Green Bay a lot. I don't think obviously Arizona isn't going to go. I mean, maybe not obviously, but I think there's a good chance they don't go undefeated. And I think at some point they're going to have a hiccup. And I think maybe this is a hiccup game. And Green Bay is game. Aaron Rodgers is game. And look, the Packers people are not talking about them enough. 6 straight wins. They had that hiccup week 1. They have been dominating teams. Like they have made teams look bad. It's not necessarily like, oh, they're winning close football games. They're making teams look bad. And I think this Packers team is hitting their stride at the right time. Obviously, losing 2 receivers hurts, but you still have good old Bobby Tonyan at the middle, and you have old, reliable Aaron Rodgers' best friend, Randall Cobb, there. Like you can find other options there, and this defense is slowly getting to where it should be. I still think they need to make a move for a corner, but I think Green Bay may finally hiccup and get back on track here against Arizona.
It's a 6.5-point line for the Cardinals as the favorite at home. Do you agree with me that the Bengals are probably the best team the Packers have played so far on the season?
I would have to look at their schedule, but I would argue and say yes.
I think the only other team that you can make that argument was probably San Francisco because they played them in week 3. So.
San Francisco has been terrible, though.
Well, but that was before all their injuries, and then it was also, I mean, Chicago. It's a division opponent.
Bengals are a lot. Game. Yeah, Bengals are probably the best team on their schedule. Which, I mean, this is probably the first test, no doubt about it. But
yeah, it's going to be interesting. Next game up, NFC South battle: Carolina, Atlanta. I'm over getting hurt by Carolina. Matt Rule and Joe Brady. I put all my chips into you for the past 2 weeks and got nothing out of it. And at some point, you have to know when to walk away from the table. And this is me walking away from the table as I knock everything over on the desk. I'm going Falcons because they've not steered me wrong for the past 2 weeks, and the Panthers have. So I'm hurt. That's what it is.
I'm going the opposite way because I believe good old Run CMC may be back. And I don't think Atlanta and I don't think Atlanta should be able to is that much better than Carolina that they should 2-0 sweep them. Like that's where I'm sitting. Like I think they already played one time there. I'm pretty sure that at least, and I'm pretty sure Atlanta won. Like I don't think they're that much better. I think Carolina's defense, like Gilmore had his first week last week, and he was very, very banged up. But I think him being more integrated in the defense is going to help. Because right now, Run CMC, there's points on his name for fantasy football, so that makes me think that there's a chance he plays. And if he's playing, I think the Carolina can win this game.
This is their first meeting this season, and it is in Atlanta. So that's why the Falcons are a 3-point favorite. Over-under is 46. I think I'm kind of liking the under a little bit. Both defenses are probably if CMC doesn't play, which I also made this pick with him not playing in mind, and it's Chuba Hubbard. I think that the under might be something, or maybe like a backdoor over at the end of the game. I don't think there's going to be a ton of points scored throughout this game. I think it's going to be maybe all or nothing at the end.
Yeah, this is a game where you're like, oh, that game's on TV. I guess I'll watch it. Shoot, it's not a game that you're like, oh, I kind of watch the Panthers and Falcons, man. Oh shit, this is going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, I honestly, this game would have fit right in the London 7:30 a.m. time slot, and I wouldn't have cared. Next game up, Cincinnati at the Jets. Are you picking this one for your lock? Competition?
I held on to a string last couple of weeks. I thought last week was going to be a lot more comfortable, but the Rams finally pulled away, so I got to stay comfortable. There's zero chance the Jets win this week, especially since Zach Wilson's out for 4 weeks. They traded. Do you know who they traded for? No. Joe Flacco. They traded for Joe Flacco,
the guy that they let go from last season.
Yep. They traded for Joe Flacco this week. The spread right now is like minus 10.5. Please do yourself a favor, take that. I mean, it could be that bad.
Yeah, it's a wide spread, and there it is. Yep, minus 10 for the Bengals. Dom and I did finally solidify our bet. You can listen to it on the Dago Express and have us talk about it. But if the Bengals win, he's going to do a polar plunge, either into a snowbank or into some river at some point. And if the Jets win, I have to change my profile picture to Bree and I in his Jets jersey. So that's the bet. Listen to it on the Dago Express. That came out yesterday morning, and also follow at Dago Express. Little plug there for myself. Next game up, we have both of us are on the Bengals that one. I don't think that there's any way the Jets are coming away with that one. I also think the next game is pretty self-explanatory. Miami at Buffalo. Bills by 50?
Uh, this Dolphins team is bad.
It's very bad.
Shit. And
very
to make things
bad enough that you want a sexual offender, a sexual predator in your locker room.
That's what I was gonna say. Apparently, the reports Tuesday were that a deal is in place, and they're waiting on more shit to get fucking overturned. Apparently, Tua's not a part of the deal. I don't understand the whole thing. I honestly hope the trade goes down. I hope it does. Because that means they're shipping Tua, and I will take Tua. I don't care. Give me Tua. Just give me Tua and a quarterback. That's what I'm saying. It's a QB carousel. Just keep it going. Give me the. I'm this close to getting a Trevor Siemian jersey and doing the fucking list the quarterbacks thing. Like the Browns did when they had because it's only been 6 years for us. They did that for fucking 15 years. So
it was up until last year that they finally solidified their starting quarterback, and it's his contract year and he's hurt. So maybe they haven't solidified their starting quarterback. But that's neither here nor there for this game.
Nobody circles wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
There you go.
Bills the whole way.
Yep. Josh Allen's going to have a field day, and it's in Buffalo, which makes it even better. San Francisco at Chicago. San Francisco's looked bad the last few weeks. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know if he's injured still, and I don't know, like, honestly, this one, I picked Chicago, and it's because I'm a good friend. I saw your tweet from our account on Saturday night, and you're like, 3 losses in a row. Maybe he's not the guy. So I'm going to pick Chicago.
Not the guy. You should get rid of him. He is not the guy. He's trash. You need to get rid of him, man. He is the problem. It's not your injuries. It's not that you have a fucking irrelevant quarterback. It's none of that problem. It's Kyle Shanahan's a problem. You need to fire him now. Get him out of there, man. Because he is not good. He should not be the 49ers head coach at all. At all. Wink, wink.
This is Nico's doing gimme.
Please. I will fucking give my left nutsack for Kyle Shanahan here. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. 49ers, he's a terrible coach. Get rid of him. He isn't. She should be head coach of the league. You got to get rid of him. You should have made Robert Saleh your head coach. That's all I'm saying.
49ers. Are you picking the 49ers? Or you picking? I am taking
49ers because the fucking Nagy experience is still going on over there, and I think this Bears team is irrelevant as fuck.
Nagy's got COVID. They might be better.
That's true. Fuck, you're right. I'm still going to go San Francisco.
They are a 3.5-point favorite at Chicago, so that's
very
interesting line. 39-point over under. I think that's just because they have zero faith in the Chicago offense.
Both the defenses are terrible though. That's why I'd be interested maybe in the over because that's a very
but over. Then you look at this past weekend and Tampa Bay beat Chicago 38-3. So that over barely hits at 39 points. That's the crazy part.
But it does hit. But it does.
Yeah. Well, also, I don't know if I brought this up. I don't think I did. That Penn State game against Illinois, a bettor's worst nightmare. 9 overtimes, and they could have still scored 2 more touchdowns, and the under still would have hit.
Oh, my God.
I don't know how that's possible, but that's possible, and it's what happened. Be sure to gamble responsibly. And make sure you set yourself limits. You don't want to go broke. Nobody wants to go broke. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. We have their first meeting this season. And I'm not sure. Have you seen any reports about whether or not Baker's going to be able to play? I know it's a non-throwing shoulder injury.
I know I base all of my fucking findings based off fantasy football, but I have to. But they're giving him points.
Okay. So that gives me confidence in my pick. I'm picking the Browns.
I'm taking Cleveland too. There's 100% positive that Chubb is going to play this week though, so they will have him back. I don't know about Baker, but after that Thursday game, a lot of Browns fans are thinking maybe
Dearness Johnson didn't look bad.
No. They're on the train that Baker may be holding this team back, which I think is idiotic.
Yeah, I mean, Case Keenum.
I'll add another QB to the carousel. Bring me Baker too. Give me another quarterback to the carousel. Just give me whoever. I don't care.
It's like the old Disney movies where you take 3 girls out on a date at the same restaurant, run back and forth to each. You're Mrs. Doubtfire you're changing into Robert Williams, and now I'm Mrs. Doubtfire, Robert Williams.
Let's maybe on the YouTube video have a ticker in the right-hand corner or whatever, and just count how many times I've added another quarterback to the Broncos carousel.
Nico's current quarterback count, 18 million. He wants everybody.
This episode.
Arch Manning is in the conversation. Arch Manning is a freshman in high school.
Find out next week who Nico wants with Denver Broncos.
Next game up, Philadelphia at Detroit. I don't know. I really don't know, but I picked the Lions because they're at home.
There's
That's it.
more talent on the Philadelphia roster than there is Detroit. That's not saying a lot, but
I understand, and this is a game where you're picking a team that
this
worked you over in the Pickem last week. I'm picking a team that's worked me over a few times in the Pickem. I really don't know. I'm not watching this game ever. Like I'm never turning this. This does not come on my TV because I don't count it as actual football. But
if there is a bet out there where you can bet on how many onside kicks there will be, how many trick plays there will be, throw it all in this game.
Dan Campbell's putting his nuts on the field. It's like Waterboy. It's last game of the year. You can't hold anything back now. You didn't hold anything back. Dan Campbell's gonna win a game, and I just want to I'm gonna take that post-game press conference after Dan Campbell gets his first win as an NFL head coach. I'm gonna post it on our page, and we're gonna react to it live because it's gonna be a gem and a half. That's all I can say. Maybe it never comes. Who knows? Maybe the Lions are going to be destined to be a team that goes 0-16 and 0-17.
Yeah, could be the first team ever to go 1-17. That'd be something.
All right, we're split on that one. I don't think we'll be split on this next game. Tennessee going to Indianapolis, AFC South matchup. The Colts, they're not terrible. They're really
surprising a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, their running game.
Doable.
They have an identity. That's the thing. That's the big. If you have a team, if you're a fan of a team that doesn't have an identity, you watch the Indianapolis Colts and you're like, well, they might suck. Like their talent is not there, but they know what they're doing and they do it as good as they can. I think Carson Wentz is stoned or something because he's not playing good football, but they're still finding ways to be competitive in these games.
That game on Sunday completely went in their favor. The 49ers Sunday night, 49ers are an aired out team and the Indianapolis Colts are a fucking punch you in the mouth type team. And they got to do that, except the only problem is you're facing the best running back of this generation. Yes, I'm going to say it here, best running back of this generation, Derrick Henry, and a team that is going to pound you right back in the face.
Yeah, this is on that, Spider-Man meme where they're both looking at each other like, what? Who? Except
it's Tobey Maguire and fucking Andrew Garfield, and there's one obvious answer. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Tom Holland. Tom Holland is the one answer. That's the one true answer. So who you're picking Tennessee in that one too?
Obviously, yeah. I like Tennessee a lot.
We're both for the boys.
They're opening up the offense so much more. All you had to do was get Derrick Henry a fucking couple games, 300 yards rushing, and then AJ Brown
had 100. That's what I'm saying.
You scare people with Derrick Henry, and then other things open up. It's crazy how that works out.
Los Angeles Rams going to the Texans. I
I
feel like this is an even bigger lock than last week's game, but then again, we saw what happened. But yeah, Los Angeles Rams are gonna walk away with this one.
This is gonna be the easiest cakewalk of our lives. Man.
We're definitely going to differ on this one. New England going to Los Angeles. I'm taking the Chargers. I think that their talent is going to be what brings them over because the Patriots have been beaten by more talented teams. That Dallas game, Dallas won because they were the more talented team. CeeDee Lamb could not be covered by anybody. I think that the Chargers have those abilities as well. I love Eck. Eck is having a great season. Austin Eckler, shout out, a Western alumni. Western also now tied for number one in the RMAC conference because Colorado Mines lost to Colorado Mesa. So another fun fact for you. I have no life outside of college football. That's obvious. I'm going Chargers. Are you taking Bill Belichick and Mac?
I am. I don't know why, but the last 2 weeks the Patriots have been like, dude, this team's good. You know what I mean? Like, look, it was against the Jets. Don't get me wrong. Jets suck. But that game against the Cowboys, like they fucking had that game. They played really. Mac Jones has been on a tear. Like that team is playing very, very well. They know their identity now. They fucking just get receiver. They get the tight ends in play. They let Matt Jones just dump the ball off like they did it with Tom Brady for 20 years. And I don't know why. This is a Chargers game after a bye. That just gives me some worry. I think the Chargers may have a hiccup game. This may be a trap game because I think they play a divisional game 2 weeks from now against the Raiders, I'm pretty sure. So that's why I think it's a game they may be looking over, which I don't think they should be.
They play They go Patriots, Eagles, Vikings,
Oh, maybe
Steelers,
not.
Broncos. So they
I was
actually,
way off. Never mind. I was
yeah,
fucking way
they
off.
play the Bengals in December, and that one will be probably their next toughest game. But I really like the head coach for the Chargers too. I think that he's
Staley
doing
is a great coach. Yeah.
Daily. I think he's going to be a really good coach. So I have faith in the Chargers. I've had faith in the Chargers. But also, it's kind of funny. We've been doing this podcast for long enough now that I could pretty much fill this out for the both of us before we reveal the answers, because I knew you were going to go New England because I know how you feel about the Chargers.
I'm not sold until you fucking win the division and win a playoff game. I'm not.
Prove it to me. I got you. I have a few teams that are still needing to prove it to me. Speaking of which, Jacksonville at Seattle. I picked Seattle and Geno Smith because I think Jacksonville's that bad. Even coming off of a bye, I think now we're going to have – this is where we're going to see them truly fall apart from that Urban Meyer incident. I think that they had fun with it and they won afterwards. They had the bye week, and now they're going to come back and be like, I don't want to play for this guy. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks that we're playing Alabama every week. He's not an NFL coach.
Yeah, you have the old heads going at one another with Pete Carroll, who's the oldest coach, I'm pretty sure, in NFL history to ever coach a single game. And then you have Urban Meyer, who's trotting out there, doesn't know if his back hurts or whatever it may be. This is a game that I'm going to be shying away from. Seattle right now, I think, is only a -3 or something stupid line like that. I'm not entirely sure. But the line is very, very favorable. This is a game I'm staying away from because I don't know, honestly. This could be Trevor Lawrence's fucking game to come out and just pop off, or it could just be another one where the Jacksonville Jaguars are losing a stupid game. Like, because look, the Seahawks, this team isn't like, they have weapons on offense, but the defense is not as good as it once was. And without Russ, this team is trotting along very, very slowly. And in a division that's as good as it is, they're going to need some pull-off wins like this to stay in the hunt. So I'm going to go with Seattle for that reason.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle too. I got to tell you, you're a fan of the other guys, right? With Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was on TikTok earlier this morning. It was the next time the NFC West has a meeting together, and it was The Rock and Sam Jackson's. Like, if it wasn't for you guys doing the paperwork and all the bullshit we don't like to do, all the gunfights, with sex with women we have to have but we don't want to, and then the 49ers probably goes, I want to hear you talk. I will shove my arm up your ass, work your mouth like a puppet. That's where we're at right now in the NFC West, and Seattle is also on that same level. I don't think that they're good this year, but I think that they're better than Jacksonville. So, Seahawks.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the only problem is with Geno Smith. You don't know what the fuck you're going to give with Geno Smith.
Yeah, or that offensive line, because they let T.J. Watt get blocked by 5 of them and cause a sack fumble. That also isn't great. Next game up, Washington at Denver. I'll be at this game in person. This is going to be the game that I'm going with my tickets, and I'm taking Bree to. I went with Denver. I think that the defense is talented enough to be Taylor Heineke. I don't think that coaching-wise, like, this is going to be – Ron Rivera is going to coach circles around Vic Fangio, and it's not going to be close in that regard. I'm going Broncos because I think that their defense is good enough to stop Taylor Heineke, and they haven't been using Antonio Gibson. Who knows? Maybe Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, shows up on Halloween, but – I don't know. I like the Broncos.
You just said the X factor right there. Scary Terry. I think he can fucking torch us.
Don't you guys have Surtain? You know, this guy you drafted number 10 overall.
No, Surtain has had a great year. But the problem is we throw fucking Kyle Fuller on him because they think Surtain isn't ready yet. Surtain hasn't let up a pass more than 20 yards. So I am not having this Surtain slander because he's been fucking great. So this is all Kyle Fuller and Ronald Darby slander because those motherfuckers can't go to the soul. So I'm going to go with Washington because I said it. Fucking I hope they lose every fucking game. And they lose this week, first of all. Also, this is Peyton Manning's Ring of Fame ceremony. He's going to be up in the fucking Ring of Fame. His jersey's already fucking retired, obviously, up there 18 with Chapuka, or however you say it. And if the only chance this team has of winning is that Peyton Manning goes on the sidelines and coaches this team. That's the only chance we got. I thought we would have. I thought the fucking, it was Shanahan's fucking day. You're playing the Raiders. I thought that would have juiced the team up.
Oh.
Obviously,
we're not good in banner games right now.
No, we are terrible at banner games.
Denver is not good. We don't know. We're not used to the banner games, so we don't know how to act.
Look. The face of the Denver Broncos is still Peyton Manning, and you can argue with me all you want. There's a reason why Peyton is at every single fucking sporting event in Denver because he's the face of this team outside of Vaughn, which Vaughn may be gone here soon, unfortunately. Very sad to think about. But Peyton is I'm glad it took them only 4 years, 5 years to do this. It took them way too long to do Shanny. Now they finally at least did Peyton perfectly right after the Hall of Fame, right after he got inducted. So at least they're doing that right. Like I said, I hope they lose. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be at the game yet because I got a lot of shit for Halloween. I'm hoping to be at the game because I love seeing Peyton Manning whenever he's in this town because he's a goddamn folk hero. But it's just despicable watching this team play. It's to a point where I like Teddy. I like the weapons. We may get Judy back this week too, but you just don't know what you're going to give this team because the coaching is that bad, and that's just the biggest just fuck me in the ass, right? Like it's just well, I guess they're playing. Who are they playing? Oh, they're playing Washington. I would take Washington plus 3.5 because right now we're a 3.5 favorite. I would take that because Scary Terry on Halloween, for whatever reason, it just scares me. Like you said, it's the voodoo shit like that. It is. It's the voodoo shit. He's gonna find the end zone like 3 times on Sunday, and then we're gonna lose. Get our ass kicked. And hopefully, also I'll come out and say this: I won't pick the Broncos again this season until Fangio is fucking gone and Shermer. I will not. I will come out and say that I will not pick this team until one of those two is fired. If it's Shermer, I'll fucking pick them one of the weeks. But if it's not, I'm picking against them every week. Even against the Eagles, even against the Lions. I'm that confident in my fucking pick them because I will pick against this team every week.
Well, I can't really say too much right now, but if you do go to the game, are you going to go dressed up? What are you going? If you do, what are you dressing up as?
Wear a Peyton Manning jersey and just hope for the fucking best, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I'm going with a green shirt and khakis. I'm Shaggy and Bree's going as Scooby. So I am gonna.
You are gonna fucking stand out like a sore thumb, buddy.
I know. It's gonna be interesting. That's why I have the beard going right now. I haven't shaved for a little bit, and
you should have done fucking Fred and Fred and Daphne. You would at least had some orange on. That would have worked a little bit better.
It could. I don't know. She wanted to go with Scooby, so I had to be Shaggy, and that's what happened. No, I think it's going to be an interesting game to be at. I didn't know that it was his Ring of Fame ceremony. I think that's cool.
Yeah, they announced it today. They announced it today, I'm pretty sure.
I think I saw TD's too.
TD's already up there. He's been up there.
Yeah, no, I think I saw, or maybe it was Shannon. Maybe it's Shannon. I saw one other person from their Super Bowl team get put up in the Ring of Fame.
I've seen most of the recent ones.
Yeah, I have too. I always end up picking that game for whatever reason. But we're split on that one as well. Next game up, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. Go Bucks. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I think Jameis is mocking us.
He's trolling? You think Jameis is trolling?
He's trolling. I think he's trolling. I think he's got to be trolling, right? He's got to be. At this point,
he can't just be that bad.
He knows he's a meme, so he's just egging it on more, I think.
Dude, those two draft classes sucked. Number 1 and 2 back to back. 2017 with Mariota and Winston, and then the next year it was Goff and Wentz.
I think Mariota could be a starter somewhere, in my opinion, though. Honestly, maybe there's another one now.
He could probably go to like Washington. Honestly, I picked him up in my Madden franchise as my backup to Joe Burrow.
He could, in the right system, he could be a halfway decent quarterback still. He just got ousted because Tannehill just fucking balled.
Yeah, I mean, he got away from Adam Gase, and that's what happens. The season after Adam Gase leaves, you're going to have all the success in the world. His high school, the year after he graduated, won a fucking state championship.
Except if you're the Jets and you're that poverty franchise.
There's other factors in that one. Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings, the Randy Moss revenge game. I can't believe I just almost forgot Randy Moss's last name. The Randy Moss revenge game. The Cowboys at the Vikings. Who do you got for that
Dallas? 100%. Dallas is just eating. Like I said, this offense is potent. This offense does whatever it's want on a weekly basis, and they can hit you from whatever you want. You want to tie it over the middle, they'll fill Dawson Schultz. CeeDee Lamb, Mari Cooper, and fucking Gallup. Oh, wait, you have arguably the second best 1-2 punch in the league behind Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb and Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Probably one of the second best 1-2 punch in the league. And look, Micah Parsons fucking stud. That's all I need.
Draymond Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs stud. They just needed a couple studs on defense, and this team is right back in the picture for being a contender. I'll say it, a contender, because they got all the pieces for it.
Mm-hmm. And I think still Trayvon Diggs still has more touchdowns than Stephon Diggs on the season.
I thought they tied last week.
I think maybe they're tied, but they both had bye weeks, so neither of them were able to pick up a win on the other. But I got Dallas in that one too. I think CeeDee Lamb, the talent on Dallas right now is too good. Jerry Jones, for as much as he swings and misses in the draft, he actually hit a pretty good.
He's hit on a lot of good
picks.
Ones.
Yeah, especially that Dak Prescott pick has to just haunt you. Like we were talking about Josh Allen last week. Well, Dak Prescott has to haunt you too.
Josh Allen haunts me the most because in that situation when we got Paxton Lynch, we were like, I don't know, it was after the Super Bowl, so like it wasn't that bad. But with the Josh Allen thing, it hurt like a motherfucker. The fact that the Cowboys wanted Paxton Lynch too hurt me more. You know what I mean? That we traded ahead to get Lynch for the fact that the Cowboys were going to take it. That's what hurts.
And for the fact that Dak Prescott missed a flight and ended up being late to your meeting. When, by the way, you weren't that great of a franchise at that point. It was nobody knew what you were going to look like after Peyton.
No, we didn't. We thought we'd still be a playoff team. We thought because his defense was still all the way intact. So we thought, well, bring in whatever quarterback we want, and we'll see. And Simeon, Lynch, Osweiler. Do I need to keep going?
No. I think we get the gist. The last game, Monday Night Football. I almost just called an audible, but I'm going to stick with my pick that I had originally. I'm going Chiefs. I know that the Giants just hurt me pretty bad last week. I thought that there was no way that Carolina could lose, especially that badly. Honestly, I thought I was rooting for it to end 5-3 or 6-5. I wanted that so badly. Game, yeah, I wanted that so badly. Didn't get it. 25-3 ended up being the final score. I almost just flipped my pick to the Giants. I'm going to go to the Chiefs because in my head, I'm like Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damian Williams, all these guys. They're good enough.
Damian Williams in Chicago, by the
way. They have some Williams. Maybe it's they have somebody the running back named Williams. I think that they're more talented. Tyreek Hill. I think that they're talented enough to beat the New York Giants, just like they were to beat the Washington football team.
They're more talented than half the teams they play, but they're not. They're not there. They're not in the headspace. I'm gonna go the G, man. Fuck it. I know this is a limp. This is my limp in there. I don't know why I'm taking this, but I'm taking it. I'm taking the G, man. Dan Jones had a great game last week. There's still no Saquon, but they're slowly getting weapons back. They got Evan Ingram back last week. And this week there's a good chance they get Sterling Shepard back as well. Slowly Daniel Jones is getting some weapons back. I think Daniel Jones could have a day against this terrible defense. Look, this Giants O-line is fucking terrible, but there isn't a pass rusher on the Chiefs that I can say can get to the quarterback with ease. Maybe Chris Jones. But that's it. I don't know why, but I feel the Giants can pull off the upset.
Oh, I really hope it doesn't happen because this is a game that I really need. But we'll see. Be sure to vote in the polls on starting Thursday morning. You guys are catching me, so there's a possibility that I end up dead last. And obviously, I'll have to serve some sort of stipulation for that. That's this week's Week 8 FEOTB NFL Pickem. And there's a lot of good games on the slate, so be sure to check out the video when you're going through our YouTube channel as well. This will be one of the ones on there.